This amazing natural phenomenon will amaze you with its majesty and beauty. Mendenhall Glacier is located in the valley of the same name near the town of Juneau, Alaska, and stretches for several dozen kilometers from the Juneau ice field to Lake and the Mendenhall River. However, the place was not always called that. The glacier got its modern name in honor of Thomas Corwin Mendenhall in 1891. This physicist surveyed the state border between Alaska and Canada here. It was later renamed Ock. Of course, it is not the most significant glacier in Alaska, but it is certainly one of the most beautiful and impressive. It is also one of the famous underwater glaciers, popular for its Mendenhall caves. New caves are constantly formed by meltwater, which partially destroy the walls and wash away the cracks, gradually forming underwater passages, labyrinths. The depth and length of the underwater ice galleries can sometimes reach several hundred meters. These labyrinths resemble a tree-like structure, where small channels serve as branches flowing into the main hall of the cave. However, the caves are quite fragile. The constant thawing creates instability in the glacier structure. Mendenhall Glacier is only a small part of the huge Juneau ice field, which covers more than 2,400 square kilometers. There are 36 large glaciers. The appearance of Oneonta Gorge looks as if it came from the pages of fantasy books. The high basalt walls, covered with a thick layer of moss, ferns, and lichens are probably the places where fairy dwarves and elves live. Oneonta is part of the Columbia River and there are even 4 waterfalls in the gorge, so the flora here is rich in unique aquatic plants. Oneonta Gorge, with its 50 species of wildflowers, flowering shrubs and trees, has been described as one of the real dramatic chasms in the state. There are problems on the trail due to natural as well as human influences. In the late 1990s, the stream was partially blocked when 3 large boulders, the size of pickup trucks, fell into the creek. Subsequently, a logjam formed in the middle of the slot canyon. This created a hazard for hikers, leading to the loss of life in 2011. Oneonta Gorge was first photographed by Carlton Eugene Watkins, a native of Oneonta, New York, who traveled west in 1851 during the California Gold Rush. Watkins named Oneonta Falls after his hometown. The history of the Carlsbad Caves is over 250 million years old. Some of them are up to 300 meters deep, and the total length of their descents and hauls exceeds the mark of 12 kilometers. The area of the largest cave here, called the Great Room, is 6 hectares. This cave has a longitudinal shape with a length of 600 meters, a width of 300 meters and a wall height of 90 meters. Carlsbad Caverns National Park is located in the Guadalupe Mountains, a mountain range stretching from West Texas to southeast New Mexico. The national park's location at the intersection of the northern Chihuahuan Desert, the southern Rocky Mountains, and the southwestern biogeographic provinces of the Great Plains promotes a variety of natural wildlife habitats. Plant communities of the national park are diverse, and in some cases, unique. The park has about 900 species and subspecies of vascular plants. The national park is one of the largest in its abundance, diversity and beauty of mineral formations. The park has 116 caves, which are some of the largest underground chambers in the world. The main attraction of the park is the complex of 80 Carlsbad Caves, with a high diversity and aesthetic appearance of mineral formations. The Park is open to visitors year-round, but most tourists come here mostly in the summer, on weekends and holidays. The lowest visitation is in January. Carlsbad Caverns National Park is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week except Christmas. Tourists are offered the choice of descending into the cave to a depth of 230 meters or use the installed elevators. Hamilton Pool, both above ground and underground, is tucked away in the heart of the U.S. state of Texas, 40 kilometers west of Austin. For the sake of preserving its natural beauty, a reserve of the same name was created on its territory and adjacent areas. This creation is a natural pool created during the collapse of the vault of an underground river when the soil collapsed, unable to withstand its own weight. This happened thousands of years ago, and since then, only huge slabs of limestone have remained around the edges of the lake, and ancient stalactites hang from the ceiling. A 15-foot waterfall falls directly from the overhanging cliffs into the basin, and the lake itself eventually merges with the Colorado River. The waterfall never completely dries up, keeping the water level in Hamilton Pool constant. In the middle of the 19th century, Morgan Hamilton bought the lake from the Indian tribes, after whom the body of water was named, but it was not he who made it famous, but the Reimers family. They bought the land in 1880 to set up a cattle farm there, for the county was full of vegetation. But when the Reimers found the amazing pool, created only by nature, they immediately realized that it could bring much more profit than an ordinary farm. By 1985, Hamilton Pool had become so popular that the state had to intervene to keep the lake safe from the crowds of tourists. The local government bought the land and created a nature reserve, prohibiting hunting, fishing, building fires, and even bringing in pets. Sequoia Park is located in Central California, about the same distance from Los Angeles and San Francisco, about 400 kilometers, in the southern Sierra Nevada mountain range and covers 1,635 square kilometers in the Southern California Sierra Nevada range, known as Land of the Giants, at elevations ranging from 500 to 2,700 meters. The territory of this national park is so vast that it is easy to spend several days here with interest, constantly discovering something new. Most of it is completely wild, which is a true paradise for people of all ages who like to hike in nature. Visitors peak in the 2 summer months of July and August. The best time to visit Sequoia National Park is in early autumn, just after Labor Day, when the flow of tourists and vacationers decreases and the weather is still comfortable enough not only to visit the sequoias, but also to walk along the streams and to the waterfalls. This is the most appropriate time to explore the park for the first time. Truth be told, though, Sequoia Park is beautiful and interesting at any time of year, and every nature lover is sure to discover something special about it. In my opinion, Sequoia Park is a must for anyone who is passionate about the outdoors and wants to get to know the real America. After all, there is nothing like it anywhere else on Earth.